Hey there everyone, welcome to Tales in Text and I'm your host Nisha Prakash and this is Bite Size Bharata where you hear tiny tales from a grand epic. We start our story in the court of the dejected Shantanu. After failing to win the hand of the beautiful Satyavati due to her father's shocking request, all courtly work and affairs of the state have ceased to hold joy and pleasure for the broken-hearted king. So deep is his sorrow that Shantanu cannot eat, cannot drink, and he seems to be wasting away. And he is unable to devote his mind and energy to matters of his subjects. His son Devavrata, the son of goddess Ganga, watches his father's decline in mental health with rising concern. Finally, unable to stay quiet, Devavrata approaches Shantanu in the courtroom when he is alone. He says, "Revered father, O great king, I have seen that for many days you seem preoccupied with a matter of great concern, one which is ruining your peace of mind and negatively affecting your health. Father, is there anything that I can do for you to ease your burden? Command me, Father, my king, and I shall move heaven and earth to fulfill your desires." Shantanu sorrowfully looks at Devavrata. He replies, "Oh son, you are right. I am worried about something, but that is a matter that you cannot help me with. Like a man throwing a stone on his own foot, I have made myself lame through my own foolishness and opened our kingdom to great harm." Shocked and confused, Devavrata asks, "What do you mean, father? I cannot for a second believe that you would ever do anything to hurt our kingdom. Like a father protecting his children, you have always loved and cared for your citizens. That is why all our allies hold you in great regard and respect you. That is why our enemies hesitate to attack us. They know what a fierce and loving protector you are of the people under our care." Shantanu gives a short chuckle. Shaking his head, he says, "Oh, Devavrata, you hold your father in too high a regard. Blinded by paternal love, you fail to see what wrong is so plainly visible to all." "What do you mean, father? Please tell me," requests the prince. Shantanu takes a deep breath and replies, "All right, I don't think there is any point hiding this from you, as this matter concerns you as much as it concerns me." Seeing Devavrata's confused and concerned expression, Shantanu continues, "You see, son, the biggest mistake I have made as a man and as a king is not to have remarried another woman after your mother Ganga left us. As a king, it is my duty to ensure that the Kuru lineage continues and that our people sleep in comfort knowing that their futures and their families' futures are under the care of Kuru kings. Hurt as I was by your mother killing your brothers at birth, you remember the truth I told you about your brothers, don't you?" he adds. And seeing his son nod his head in assent, Shantanu continues, "I was so tremendously happy that she had let you live, and she had raised you and even returned you to me. In that happiness, I focused on showering all of my love and attention on you. Something which I do not regret and cherish always. Because what a fine and wonderful boy and a spectacular heir to the throne you turned out to be, Devavrata. Truly, son, you are my greatest accomplishment." Shantanu pauses and sighs sadly. Then he continues, "But in spite of it all, My happiness and pride in you blinded me to the truth that no prince, no heir to the throne is truly safe, no matter how good a warrior they are. As a king, my responsibility was to have more sons who could step up and into the role of heirs should your life ever be at risk. As Kshatriyas and as heads of the Kuru lineage, our lives are never guaranteed safety. And our kingdoms are only as safe and secure as our bloodlines. And by failing to further my bloodline, I have put our entire kingdom and all our people at risk and in harm's way, should anything happen to you. You see, son, how I have failed as a man and as a king. A deep silence fills the air. Shantanu bends his head in sorrow and takes deep breaths. Devavrata looks at his father, and his heart breaks for the man who loved him so deeply and who loved his people so deeply. The prince gets closer to his father, gets down on his knees and puts a hand on his father's shoulders. He says gently, "No, father, you have not failed as a man or as a king. It is true that the Vedas say that a man who has one son is akin to a man who has no sons. But it does not mean that you have failed in any way. Who can find fault with a man who had to watch his many children murdered right at birth? You have always been the best king Hastinapura could ask for, and I am forever grateful to call such a wonderful man as my father. I love you, father. Please do not be upset, ashamed, or worried." Saying this, Devavrata gently hugged his father. Shantanu felt tears rising in his eyes as he returned the hug, his heart brimming with love for his son. Devavrata pulled back and said, "Father, it is not too late, you know. Name the woman who is to be my younger mother, and we shall celebrate your marriage with a great celebration. A celebration Hastinapura has not seen in a long time. I welcome the thought of seeing my younger brothers and sisters running around the palace, filling these walls with their laughter. Maybe I can teach them the games I played with my mother and the statecraft that I learned from you as a child." Shantanu's face lost color, and he pulled away from Devavrata. Suddenly, sounding agitated, he said, "What? No, me? Marry again? No. That is generous of you to say, my son, but no, I shall never marry again. It is time we found you a wife, though, so you may fulfill all of your desires and have sons of your own. Just be sure to never make the mistake I made." "But, father," Devavrata tried to interject. Angrily, Shantanu stopped him. "Enough! I have shared my thoughts with you. I shall never marry again." And as he said this, a look of deep anguish clouded Shantanu's face. Hurriedly turning away, he called over his shoulder, "Go, son. Go live your life. Do not let a foolish old man's sorrow ruin your youthful pleasures." Saying this, Shantanu walked away, leaving Devavrata confused and concerned about his father's strange outburst at such a perfectly acceptable solution. He knew something else was hurting the king. But what? Devavrata would have to find out.